The Ted Cruz bus tour continues in Iowa. We're on stop 15 right now, Rustic's Restaurant. It just wrapped. Ted's trying to hit all 99 counties. At the end of this trip, he'll be at 77. This is retail politics at its best. Behind me, you see Ted Cruz in the distance. He's greeting supporters, answering their questions. And I want to bring in ABC's Tom Yamas, who's on the campaign trail with me. And Tom, tell us a little bit about what interests you today of Ted compared to the other days that you've seen him on the trail.
Well, I'll tell you two things. One thing is that this campaign, the Cruz campaign, it operates so well. It's a very well-oiled machine, incredibly disciplined, always on message, and they really are collegial. They work well together in these events. Now, they've chosen some smaller venues, which is very different from what Donald Trump does, filling up arenas and stadiums. But they fill these small arenas, small restaurants, small businesses. They get a lot of people in here, a lot of media, and it looks like it's more full than it really is, or that more people came. But it's a really smart when you think about the optics of it. But Cruz himself, I mean, incredibly disciplined candidate. He always gives the same speech pretty much. He veers away now and then. He gave a little improvised line. He saw me and you behind the bar. He talked about the media serving up free drinks, which is kind of funny. But besides that, he's always on message, delivers the same jokes with the same intonation. An incredibly disciplined candidate after having spent a few days with him out here on the campaign trail. It's amazing that he doesn't really make too many mistakes.
And a big story right now is, of course, Donald Trump's claim questioning his citizenship. That's something that you had the chance to ask Ted Cruz about numerous times yesterday and talk about discipline on that.
Well, Ted Cruz, he just doesn't really want to answer the question. He doesn't want to get into a mudslinging fight with Donald Trump. I asked him 3 different ways. I asked him why he'll attack Senator Rubio, but he won't respond to Donald Trump. He says that he has a stronger record than Donald Trump, but he doesn't want to get into the, quote, food fight the media wants. It's interesting, though. I spoke to a supporter after the last event who tells me she does want Senator Cruz to respond because Trump is raising these questions about his citizenship and whether he is eligible to be president. She wants to hear from Cruz. We have yet to get a clear answer. Cruz says that he can run. The letter of the law is clear that he can run for president, but even people like Senator John McCain are raising questions.
And on that topic of events, Tom, we both covered Donald Trump a lot. Ted Cruz will come here, he'll do 5 events in one day. So although he's not getting the crowds overall that Trump's getting, he's seeing a lot of people in their towns throughout the state. Do you think that's a tactic that still is going to work in Iowa, or because this election has changed things, will that benefit Trump?
It's interesting to see what happens. The conventional wisdom was that whoever has the most ad time, TV time, is the person who will win. It's proven false this time around. The attack ads on Donald Trump really haven't had too much of an effect. But Senator Ted Cruz says he's running a grassroots campaign, and he is running a grassroots campaign. He's doing these small events. He's shaking every single hand. He's trying to answer as many questions as he can. It is completely different from the Donald Trump campaign. Donald Trump comes in, flies in on Trump Force One, gives a big speech, a big rally. Thousands, tens of thousands are there sometimes. People love it. They pregame sometimes beforehand. Very different from a Cruz event. Which one is better? I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see till February 1st.
And we also have to let our viewers know no Secret Service here at Cruz events, which definitely changes the dynamic. As you can see over our shoulder, and I'll bring you guys in, you can go right up to Ted Cruz, you can say hello to him, ask him questions, take a selfie. He's just that approachable at these events.
Something else I want to point out, the people in Iowa are so nice, the business owners. We're here at a bar, behind the bar. They let us kind of roam wherever we want. Come here, maybe knock the edge off if we have to, me and Josh. We won't do that today, but maybe later tonight we will. But it just shows how open the people in Iowa are and how important they are to the democratic process, that they let their businesses be privy to all this, and they let all these people come in. It's really nice. It's really great for the democracy.
Glad Tom's having fun. I've been here for 3 months. Completely agree with you.
I love democracy, all right? Just so you know, Josh.
Thanks, Tom. And I want to take you guys in a little closer, and let's hear what supporters are saying to to Ted Cruz inside. And let's try and get around. There's just some people blocking us right now. But as you can see, people are shaking Ted Cruz's hand. He's had some moments yesterday where supporters were crying, and they were also asking him to sign different mementos.
But welcome to Humboldt.
So we're going to try and bring you guys in right now.
How are you doing, sir? Thank you. Thank you very much. Here, hop in and let's get a...
awesome. I got a picture of your dad. Awesome. I got several. Yeah, I got him in the picture too. What's your name so we know who you are? What? Okay.
Which camera?
All right, hold on, Bob.
All right, I'll hold it.
No, that's okay. I didn't know. Can you ask him if he can answer a question or not?
I can't get to it.
Okay.
We're going to do it together.
And that person right behind Ted Cruz wearing the vest, that's Bruce. He's Ted Cruz's body man, goes everywhere with him. His Twitter handle, I believe, is Ted Cruz's shadow. That's what it says on there. And as you can see, he's whispering things in Ted Cruz's ear, telling him, talk to this person wants to show you this. That's how Ted Cruz is able to actually talk to every single person inside these events and leave and go on to the 2 other events that he has today. As Tom said, very regimented and disciplined. Many of their events are almost always on time, which is something rare that happens in politics, especially when you're traveling long miles here in Iowa. Let's talk to a quick supporter or voter who is here. I want to get their opinion. Yes, your opinion live on ABC Digital. What did you think about Ted Cruz and what brought you to this event?
I like what he has to say. It resonates well with the conservative voters. Just wanted to hear more of what he said in person, not on TV.
Are you a supporter at this point?
Yeah, I think I am. I've been leaning towards him for quite a while.
But to actually see him shake his hand, does that kind of close the deal for you?
I think so. You know, my husband's been a longtime supporter, so, you know.
And what about his issues, where he stands, being a constitutional conservative, social conservative? What's appealing to you?
The fact that I'm a constitutional conservative and a social conservative, it obviously resonates well with him, so.
And are you going to go tell your friends and other people to kind of vote for Ted Cruz, or are you not at that point yet? I know so much of Iowa politics is word of mouth and,
right.
Hey, I got to meet him and send your pictures off. Where do you go from here? We're still 26 days from the caucus.
Well, I'm probably going to say, hey, if you haven't decided, look into it. You know, it's what you might go this way, so possibly.
And can you tell us your name?
I'm Tracy Brownfield.
Thanks so much for talking to us, Tracy. Appreciate it. Can you show us your jersey real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. This is GOP jersey out of Texas. So let's see the back.
And the 45 is for 45th.
Absolutely.
And so-
Absolutely. And then the USA on the front, and then we got 2016 on the shoulders. So
Can you tell us the book that you have?
yeah, this is A Time for Truth. This is after reading this, and that kind of put me over the top with Ted Cruz. So.
And so tell us what brought you down here today and what it was like to see someone that you admire so much in person.
I actually came up from Kansas to come up here and be a part of this. I'm actually volunteer here. I think it's the frustration with the establishment in general. All the GOP promises that never seem to.
So you're volunteering right now for Cruz in Iowa.
Yeah, I'm based out of Des Moines, and I came up here on my own accord.
Are you staying at Camp Cruz?
I am.
And tell our viewers about what Camp Cruz is.
Camp Cruz is just a bunch of volunteers coming together and help out the cause.
And you guys, how long are you here for? What kind of work are you doing?
I'm headed out Monday. Working on a ground game. Do a lot of door to door and a lot of phone calls. So it's exciting to have a lot of positive conversation. There's a lot of people that are saying, like, approach you and like, hey, you're Cruz. They're happy about it. So.
Thank you. Well, we wish you luck and hope you get your book signed.
We also encourage healthy living. All these people exercising. All right, got it. I trust me.
And what happens at these events, I run into people like my colleague, Jessica Hopper, who's going to talk to us for a few minutes. And Jessica's been on every stop of the bus tour. So Jessica, how's it going so far? You're more than halfway done.
Yeah, we're 15 stops in of the 28 stop tour, and you know, it's been an adventure on the press bus, riding in the snow, but I think you can really sense the momentum for Senator Cruz here. I think they really feel the momentum and feel good about their chances here in Iowa. What's interesting is the issues that are following him around. The ethanol issue, which I know you cover a ton, Josh, keeps percolating here.
And just to give our viewers a little bit of an idea, ethanol is a very important issue to many voters in Iowa. It's created over 70,000 jobs in the state. Senator Cruz is against ethanol subsidies, and an RV with an ethanol advocacy group has been following him on this tour. And a number of lobbyists have come out against his stance, saying that he's bad on the issue. But Ted Cruz, so far on this tour, has actually made some news. He hasn't necessarily changed his stance, but why don't you tell our viewers how things have changed?
You know, he's sort of further expanded his stance, or where he stands on the issue, saying that he would phase out this thing called renewable fuel standard in the next 5 years. It's interesting. Today, he's brought along an expert or somebody big in the ethanol industry here in Iowa to kind of give him a boost. But it seems like when you talk to people here, they agree with him. He says he doesn't want energy subsidies at all for any forms of energy. But what's interesting is there's been no questions about his birthplace in Canada today at any of the stops, since all of the stuff's come out with Donald Trump. It'll be interesting if he talks about his stat later today at his press conference.
And one reason why, well, he'll definitely be asked that at the front of it.
He'll definitely be asked, but what will his answer be?
And one reason why we think maybe that hasn't been brought up here, and it's something that I know you've been seeing, is that Ted Cruz's supporters in Iowa are very committed to him. And so something that another candidate says is probably not going to change their mind. At this point, we've seen people cry when they meet him. We see almost every supporter stays. A lot of events you go to, they get out of there right away.
He embraces a lot of them they want a hug, maybe more than they want something signed. Yeah, there's a lot of support from...
So the commitment is certainly there, and that's why he's a front runner.
And I'd also say, Josh, some of them might not even know he was born in Canada until Trump brought this up, because he really harps on that he grew up in Texas, the child of 2 small business owners. He never references his birthplace, so it might not be something voters even really aware of.
Well, I want to thank Jessica Hopper for all the amazing work that she's doing, bringing us all the news that Ted Cruz is making. As we're only 26 days away from the caucus, so I know I'll see you a lot more here in Iowa. And let's go take one more listen in to what Ted Cruz is up to as he leaves and goes to another stop.
On the Cruz and the caucus bus.
And where are you headed, Jess?
I'm headed to the next stop, stop 16, which I have to admit I can't remember the name right now because there's been so many stops.
We're in Humboldt now, that's all that matters.
Right, and we were in Pocahontas this morning.
Next stop, Webster City.
There we go.
Yeah,
Thank you, John.
I studied the manual all night.
I appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much, Jess.
See ya.
Well, tell them the truth. Well, how about a win? Thank you for being here, Jack. Well, I understand.
Thank you for coming to Humboldt.
Thank you. How you doing?
Thanks a lot.
Hey, thank you.
Good luck, sir.
And as you can see, Ted Cruz's body man rushing him off. He's off to the next stop. So are we. So is Jessica. Ted Cruz will hold a media avail there, so we'll certainly get probably a non-reaction, as Tom mentioned, to Trump's claim of whether he's a U.S. citizen. But we'll ask it. We'll ask all the questions. So stay with ABC Digital for updates from here in Iowa. I'm ABC's Josh Haskell in Humboldt.